purpose, grow stronger every day. You're watching Personal Development TV, your one-stop place where change begins with you.
When betrayal knocks you down, the pain is all-consuming. It's a unique kind of hurt that doesn't just break your heart, it shatters your reality. It makes you question everything you thought was true, especially about the person you trusted, and even more painfully about yourself. The world suddenly feels unsafe, and it's so tempting to just stay on the ground, convinced you'll never get back up. But what if I told you the path to not just getting back up, but becoming stronger than you were before wasn't some big mystery? What if it was a clear, actionable process? Today, we're going to walk through the 5 steps to go from betrayed to unbreakable and completely reclaim your life. Hello everyone, my name is Dave Scott, and welcome back to Personal Development TV. Before we get to the steps, let's get real about why this hurts so much. Betrayal isn't just an emotional wound, it's a deep psychological one that can trigger something called betrayal trauma, which is very similar to PTSD. It happens when the very person you depend on for safety and connection violates that trust. This could be a partner, a family member, a close friend, anyone you counted on. The reason it's so devastating is that it attacks the foundation of your security. Your brain is literally wired for connection, and suddenly it's getting a massive threat signal from the one place I'd expected safety. This can send your nervous system into overdrive, leading to constant anxiety, intrusive thoughts, nightmares, and even physical sickness. It's common to find yourself replaying the events over and over, trying to make sense of something that makes no sense. That's called rumination, and it's exhausting. This experience can completely change how you see the world. It erodes your ability to trust others, but the deepest cut is often to the trust you have in yourself. You start attacking your own judgment. How did I not see this? What did I do wrong? Am I just not worthy of loyalty? These questions are a normal, gut-wrenching part of it. But I need you to hear this. It is not your fault. The actions of the person who betrayed you are a reflection of their character, not your worth. It's normal to feel lost, confused, and completely alone. But you are not alone. And healing is not only possible, it's your path back to yourself. The journey out of this pain feels huge, I know. But there is a path forward. It's not about pretending it didn't happen, or forcing yourself to get over it. It's about integrating this experience in a way that helps you grow around the wound, making you more resilient than ever before. This journey happens in stages. So let's walk through the 5 essential steps to start that process and take back your power. Step 1. Acknowledge the reality and feel the pain. The very first step is the one most of us want to run from. You have to let yourself feel everything. You can't heal what you refuse to feel. The anger, the sadness, the confusion, the disgust, the grief, these aren't things to be pushed down. They are valid signals that a major injury has occurred. Grieving is a huge part of this. You're grieving the loss of the relationship you thought you had, the future you pictured, and the safety you lost. And this grief has no timeline. Some days you'll feel rage, other days a deep, hollow sadness. Let it come. A great way to do this? Journaling. Write down everything you're feeling without a filter. No judgment. Just give your pain a voice. Acknowledging reality also means you have to stop protecting the person who hurt you or downplaying what they did. You have to call it what it is, a betrayal. This isn't about getting stuck in blame, it's about validating your own experience. Facing the truth, as much as it hurts, is the first real step toward taking your power back. It's the moment you stop running from the pain and turn to face it, ready to heal. Step 2. Reclaim your narrative. Betrayal has a nasty habit of making you feel like a side character in someone else's destructive story. You feel powerless, like a victim. Step 2 is all about taking back the pen and becoming the author of your own story again. This starts by fighting back against that negative voice in your head, the one ignited by the trauma. That voice that says, "I'm not good enough," "I was a fool for trusting them," or "This is all my fault." That is the voice of trauma, not truth. When a self-blaming thought comes up, you have to consciously counter it with a compassionate truth. Their choice to betray me was about their character, not my worth. Or, I wasn't weak for trusting, I was loving and open, and that is a strength. Reclaiming your narrative also means letting go of the illusion that you can control the other person. Obsessively checking their social media or trying to monitor their life will only keep you trapped in a cycle of pain. You can't control their choices, but you can control where you put your focus. So, delete the burner account. Mute the conversations. Your energy is a precious resource, and you need it for your own healing. Redirect it inward. This is your story. The betrayal is a chapter, a painful one, for sure, but it's not the whole book. You get to decide what comes next. You get to write a story of resilience, strength, and post-traumatic growth. Step 3. Rebuild your foundation with radical self-care. When a building's foundation is cracked, you don't start by repainting the walls. You go right to the source and repair the foundation. Betrayal cracks your personal foundation, your sense of self-worth and safety. Step 3 is about rebuilding it from the inside out with what's called radical self-care. And I'm not just talking about bubble baths and face masks, though those can be nice. This is about making your physical, mental, and emotional well-being your absolute #1 priority, because it is that important. This means eating nourishing meals, even if you have no appetite. It means moving your body, a walk, some stretching, to help process stress hormones. It means prioritizing sleep, which is essential for regulating your emotions. It's also about rebuilding trust in yourself by keeping small promises to yourself. If you say you're going for a walk, go for a walk. If you promise yourself 10 minutes of quiet time, do it. Each time you follow through, you send a subconscious message that you are reliable and trustworthy. You're rebuilding your self-esteem one small, achievable step at a time. And please, don't do this alone. Surround yourself with friends and family who lift you up and validate what you're going through. Your foundation is rebuilt not just with inner work, but with the support of a community that reminds you of your value when you can't see it yourself. Step 4. Establish and enforce your boundaries. Boundaries are the ultimate expression of self-respect. After a betrayal, they are not optional. They are essential for your survival. Boundaries aren't about punishing the other person. They're about protecting your peace and creating a safe space for you. Step 4 is to define what you need to feel safe and then communicate and enforce those lines. This might be a boundary with the person who betrayed you, or new boundaries for all relationships going forward. First, figure out your needs. Do you need space? Do you need total transparency? Do you need to cut off contact for good? Be honest with yourself. Your anger can be a great guide here. It often points directly to where a boundary has been crossed. Next, communicate your boundaries clearly and calmly. For example, I can't have a conversation with you if you raise your voice. If that happens, I will end the call. Or to even consider rebuilding trust, I need all contact with the other person to be cut off. That is non-negotiable for me. Now, for the most critical part, you must have a plan for what you will do if the boundary is crossed. This isn't a threat. It's your game plan for staying safe. If you say you will hang up, you must hang up. Every single time you enforce a boundary, you teach yourself that your needs matter and that you have the power to protect yourself. This is how you get your sense of control back. Step 5. Explore forgiveness on your own terms. Okay, the topic of forgiveness is a heavy one, and it's so often misunderstood. So let's be crystal clear. Forgiveness is not for the person who betrayed you. It's for you. It's the act of freeing yourself from the weight of anger and resentment that keeps you chained to the past. Step 5 is to explore what forgiveness means to you, without any pressure or timeline. Forgiveness does not mean you have to reconcile. It doesn't mean you're condoning what they did or that you have to trust them again. It simply means you're making a choice to stop letting their actions suck up all your emotional energy. You can't rush this. Forcing forgiveness when the wound is still raw just doesn't work. True forgiveness is often the quiet result of all the other healing work you've been doing. It's that moment you realize you can think about what happened without that intense gut punch of negative emotion. It's when you finally choose your own peace over the need for payback. And sometimes, the most important person to forgive is yourself. Forgive yourself for not knowing what you couldn't have known. Forgive yourself for trusting someone who wasn't trustworthy. Forgive yourself for being human. Self-forgiveness is a profound act of self-compassion that lets you finally drop the shame and self-blame. It's the final step in taking back your life, not by erasing the past, but by deciding it no longer gets to write about your future. Healing from betrayal is a journey, not a straight line. It's messy, with good days and bad days. But by taking these 5 steps, acknowledging the pain, reclaiming your narrative, rebuilding your foundation, setting boundaries, and exploring forgiveness, you are actively walking the path from betrayed to unbreakable. You won't just survive this. You have the chance to come out of this with a deeper sense of self, rock-solid boundaries, and a resilience you never knew you had. The scars might remain, but they become proof of your strength. Your story doesn't end with betrayal. It transforms into your power. I know how hard this is. What has been the most challenging part of this journey for you? Share it in the comments below. Your story might be the one thing someone else needs to hear to know they're not alone. And if this was helpful, please subscribe for more on healing and growth. Remember, you are worthy of healing, and you have the strength to create a future defined by your power, not by your pain.
Unlock your purpose, grow stronger every day. You're watching Personal Development TV, your one-stop place where change begins with you.